Hi friends, this is Wendy. Welcome. I'm so excited you're here with me today. We are going to be using Honeybee's newest release. I love these goodies. We've got the Cottage Countryside and All Things New stamp set. And then I've got a little corner rounder here from Spellbinders. And then we've got some Baker's Twine. I got this on the Honeybee website. And we're using the So Special Sentiment set. I'm going to link to all of these products below the video, and I do want to make sure that I mention this is part of a video hop. So you're going to want to make sure to go to the description box below, shop the links there, but you can also hop along, and if you leave comments on everybody's videos, you get entered to win two $50 gift cards from Honeybee Stamps. So we have a piece of 6x6 pattern paper here that I grabbed from the Cottage Countryside, and it's being scored at a 1/2 inch, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, and 5 inches. And then we're going to turn it 90 degrees and we're going to score it at 1 inch. I want to make sure to note that when we turn it at 90 degrees, whatever end of your paper you want to be the bottom is the end you need to score at the 1 inch mark. This is the bottom of your box. So if you have directional paper, this is a little bit directional. You do want to make sure you're scoring the 1 inch at the bottom. And then we're going to score at 4 and 4 1/2. After we finish that, we're going to cut away on some score lines. So this is the little box we're making, and this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. So to get the free PDF download, if you want to be able to print this and have this as a free download, I have it for you linked below the video, so you can do that. I have it listed in my digital downloads over in the Creative Vault. So here we're going to cut away this big old rectangular piece at the top, and we're going to leave this little piece here, and then we're going to cut away this little 1 inch end on the very end. This will leave us our lid for our box. And then we're just going to come in and notch the edge. This is our tab. And we're going to cut straight up on this score line, straight up on this second one here. And then we're going to kind of go at an angle on this little tab. And this is going to create our little tabs that fold in at the bottom. We're going to do the same thing again, repeat that, and then go in at a little bit of an angle. And you're going to see here really quick how this comes together. And I will just kind of hold this here for a second and show it to you. But on that free PDF download, I do have an image of this all cut so that when you go to cut this yourself, you can compare it. I actually am going to corner around the edges of the lid here really quick, and then we will be ready to assemble. I prefer to use a really strong adhesive. Here's 3 of these. Where if you want to see pictures of all of these that I made with their coordinating cards, you're going to want to go look on my blog. It's over there. Then we're going to score on we're going to fold on all the score lines. And then we're going to assemble. To assemble, it's super simple. All you need is a really strong double-sided adhesive. Tear and tape from Honeybee works great. That's pretty much what I use I've got some from different companies. It's all the same thing, and it's a really, really strong adhesive. This is what I recommend anytime you're making 3D projects, because they tend to want to come apart. And there's nothing worse than giving a gift to somebody and it falls apart. So here for this, we're going to just fold over on that second score line, and then fold over on that 1 inch score line, and here's your little box. So stinking cute. I absolutely love making little boxes and stuff like that, and it's something that I've really gotten away from and haven't been doing very much of. But what I decided to do was make 4 of these for some special people in my life. So I thought these would be fun to give for Mother's Day. You could give these to your girlfriends for Mother's Day. These could be party favors. You could do teacher gifts. I know we're right around teacher appreciation and into the school year. Now, these boxes are really small, so I have some recommendations for things that you can put in them. Obviously, chocolate would be one, but lip gloss will fit in here. You could put a little jewelry in here, a little piece of jewelry, an enamel pin that's really cute that, like, you know, maybe you find a really cute teacher appreciation enamel pin. You could put it in here with a little bit of tissue paper. You could do money, cash. If you have a graduate that you're getting ready, you know, that's getting ready to graduate, you could do that. You could add this to like a gift bag or a gift box for them with some little cash in it. You could really, I mean, there's pretty much anything you can think of that's small. It is a very small box, but it is big enough to hold just like some cute little items. So I thought it would be really cute to, like, for my mom for Mother's Day to put some earrings in or something like that. So my boxes focus on like Mother's Day or celebrating some special women in your life, and that's kind of the focus of my boxes here. So I made 4, and I figured anytime I'm making stuff like this, I like to just sit and make multiples. I do that because they're always handy to have around. Honestly, I could even give these for birthdays. You'll see how we end up decorating them, but they are so stinking cute and they are so easy to make. So I'm going to speed up some of the video here. I had a hard time deciding which side I wanted to use for this. So I'm going to speed up some of the video here, and you're going to notice that because you already saw me put this together once. If you want to see me put it together again in slow motion, you can go back to that first box that I assembled. I left that in regular time so that it would be very easy for you to watch. You can also pause and rewind if you get a little bit lost, and always feel free to ask questions anytime I'm creating something and you have questions and need to know, you know, how I did it. So here I've got the butterflies from All Things New, and I'm inking these up. Some of them look like butterflies to me, and some of them look like moths. And I ended up just kind of coloring them in colors that are not really either. I just colored them in a way that matched my boxes. I didn't look online for real butterflies or anything like that. I just went for it and colored them how I saw fit. You'll see that here in a minute. Here I'm stamping the "You Are the Best" sentiment, and these are the Copic colors that I chose to use. As you can see, I'm really sticking with that blue and gray feel to match the pattern paper. And then I just went in and I kind of came up with my own pattern as to where my colors would go. So I have to move my paper around while I'm coloring, and I realize as I'm coloring and rewatching this pack that might like be a little annoying to watch, but it is really hard to color in small areas if your paper isn't angled the right way. So I just encourage you, if you're coloring, or if you're new to coloring or something, just move your paper around, because that will help you sometimes like get the right angle. So I started with my darkest B99, 97, 95, and 93 in those the top and bottom pieces there that you saw me color. And then I used the B95, 93 to go lighter on the other parts of the wings. And then for the center of this, I did C9 and I think C5. And then here I'm doing C5, C3, and C1 because I wanted to have the gray, or almost to kind of look a little bit gray or white down at the bottom of these wings. And then I decided to go ahead and add in an orange color into the middle of these wings. Blue and orange are complementary colors, so they're really beautiful together. And this definitely made these butterflies pop. I was really, really happy with how they turned out, or moths, whatever you want to call them. I really love how they turned out, and I feel like they complemented my cards and my projects really well. For this butterfly here, I went more simple, and I just used my B99 to color some dark areas. I did a little bit of shading, but then you're going to see on the wings that I actually just alternated between a light and a dark marker, and I didn't do any shading at all. To be totally honest with you, at this point in in my creating, I was getting a little tired, and I just didn't feel like shading in between all these little bits and pieces. And I thought, this will be fine. And it turns out great. I'm totally happy with it. All in all, I was very happy with how all of my moths / butterflies turned out. I thought they looked really cute. I went in and added the orange here going down on the wings just for some contrast, and I really tried to stick with a more muted orange and muted blue to kind of go with the same feel of the cardstock or the paper that we're using, the pattern paper. So on this butterfly, again, I just picked out 2 places that I thought would look good to have the blue, and then I went in and I just colored the whole rest of it with the orange. And for this I used YR18, YR14, and 14, and I'm trying to remember which all ones I used. I used YR18. They'll be linked. I can't remember. I think this is 13 or 12. It's 12, YR12. So that's how they turned out. And then I went into the center of this butterfly with the B99 and colored it nice and dark. And then the 97 and the 95. So those are my 3 butterflies for my little boxes. And then I'm just going to die cut all of these out of my cardstock using my Anna Griffin. And then we're going to adhere them to the box only to the top. And we're only going to put pop-up adhesive or foam tape on each side of the twine, so that when your recipient gets this box and they untie it, they're going to be able to pull that twine through where that butterfly is, and it will come out. If you put your foam tape on top of that twine, or on part on the bottom and part on the top, you're going to glue your box shut, and your recipient won't be able to get into it to get their gift out. So make sure you don't do that. I kind of had a hard time deciding here where I wanted to put this sentiment, and ultimately decided to just glue it kind of to the center of this butterfly, and it did turn out just fine. It's not my very favorite placement, but I really didn't have another option at this point because I hadn't thought of what I'm going to do next. So what I did on this one is I added my butterfly to the top. I ended up going with this guy. And then I added my "You Are the Best" sentiment underneath the lid. But you'll see here in just a second, I kind of make a mess of the whole situation. Sometimes that happens, you know, you have an idea in your head, but it doesn't really come to fruition quite right. And then you kind of make a little bit of a mess of things, but it ends up being just fine. In order to get this, so I really didn't want to put it in the center of this butterfly. I wanted to put it underneath. And so then I thought about that after. So then when you open this box and you lift the lid, you have this "You Are the Best" sentiment that's looking right back at you. And I thought that was really, really fun. So if I could have done it over again, I probably would have done that same technique on the other box, but didn't think of it then. So here is when I'm like, okay, I'm taking this off because I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. And we'll pull that off, and then there you go. See, that's underneath and it's kind of hidden. And then I was able to kind of get it attached a little bit better under there as well. I didn't have it attached great the first time. So then, yeah, I don't put the twine back on because I had to get something to weave it underneath that little butterfly, but here's how it looks when it's closed and then you open it and it says you are the best. See how cute I am right here? I think that I'm going to be able to just stick this twine back up in here. Who am I kidding? Get a life, Wendy. That's not going to happen. So here is the finished boxes that are blue. And then I made some boxes that were different colors also. When I went to make my cards, I kind of tried to stick with the same theme. So here's all 4 of my boxes finished with their twine and all of their things. So I have one there that doesn't have a butterfly, and I did that intentionally because I love that pattern paper so much. I didn't want to cover it with anything. So then I went through my freebie. Now this freebie is a gift that you get from Honeybee when you place a $100 order or more. There's a link below my video that will take you to the Honeybee shop and you can shop there. I do also have a supply list link that will link out all of the supplies that I used today. You will not see the freebie on the supply list because it gets added to your order when you place your $100 order. So here I went and trimmed off at 4 by 5 1/4 all of these pieces from the freebie. This is my very favorite piece right here, that dark one with the white flowers. And then I really like this one too. Then I used the frames to die cut some beautiful frames, frame pieces. And we're going to use those on the cards. So for the one there in the black, you notice that that's more of a vanilla cardstock than white. And I cut them all out, and now we are ready to assemble. But we need to do our stamping and coloring of our butterflies first. So I stamped all of these out. This one on a vanilla cardstock and then the rest on white cardstock. I die cut them all and I colored them all. And I really love how they all turned out. I have to admit that I didn't really think that you guys would want to see me color all of these again because I had just colored them. So I saved you from too much coloring, but I had to do just a little bit, just for fun. Okay, so here was my first one all colored. I didn't show you that coloring. I just basically did black and that same orange color combo. One of the things I like doing is once I already get out a color combo of Copics, I just kind of stick with those. So that's what I did for these cards. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel and get all new colors out. So for my friends that are here regularly, I just wanted to give you a quick update that everything is going really, really well with my new journey of being a background investigator. If you are brand new around here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I did a video a few days ago sharing about that, and you can go back and watch that video. I'll link to it at the end of this one. So I'm excited on this new adventure. It is a part-time gig. So I'll basically have 2 part-time gigs, card making and being a background investigator, which is really going to be interesting. I just know it. I will definitely be doing a whole story time on how this all came about and what's happening with all of that soon. And then I just also wanted to remind you that there is a free PDF tutorial for the box that I made. If you want to print it, you can get that at the link below the video that I'll say spring treat box, and it's on the Creative Vault and it's a digital download. So it's there for free. You shouldn't have any problems downloading it. Don't forget to get involved and comment on everybody's video so that you get a chance to win the $50 gift cards from Honeybee Stamps. Thank you, Honeybee, for that amazing offer for our friends. And what else was there to tell you about? Oh yeah, go shop with Honeybee and get that freebie, that $100 mark. When you spend $100, you get the free paper pack. So I think that's everything. Links are below the video. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of time with me today. I really appreciate you being here, and I know your time is precious, and so when you spend it watching one of my videos, I'm super grateful. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you soon, friend. Bye-bye.